the last part went fine. So let's continue with Card Trooper. Card Trooper comes out of 400 and 400. Once per turn, you can send up to 3 cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. This card gains 500 attack for each card sent to the graveyard until the end phase. When this card you control is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, draw 1 card. So it's pretty easy. I mean, you just draw a card once it's been destroyed by battle, by dark hole, by something. So yeah. Banished, it won't get its effect, but yeah. Remove, banish, same thing. Okay, Doomcal. I've only seen this in an anti-meta sworn, which I didn't like. This card cannot be special summoned. When an effect monster effect is activated, you must tribute this card, negate the effect activation, and destroy that monster. So you basically have to lose Doomcal to negate anything. Okay, cool. I know, guys, I will check periodically because I do forget. I don't think about it every now and then. Okay, now the next one is Herald of Creation. Herald of Creation comes out at 1800 attack, 1600, 600 defense. Once per turn, you can discard 1 card from your hand to add 1 level 7 or higher monster from your graveyard to your hand. So that gets JD back, Dark Armed, Black Luster, Christia, Tempor, Time Lord, and that's about it. It gets the bigger cards back, and it can be brought back by Beckoning Light, but you just grab JD or Honest or any of those other cards anyways. Okay, next one is Caius for Twilight. When this card is tribute summoned, you remove from play 1 card on the field. If it's a dark monster, inflict 1,000 life points to damage. We all know the combo. Once you tribute it, you can remove, inflict 1,000, and possibly go game, or you remove like a spell, trap, or an annoying monster like that guy, and do 1,000 anyway. It's like, okay, that's about it for Caius. Spore, not as broken as it used to be. It was good about 2 formats ago before Dandelion went down to 1. Okay. You can, it comes out of 400 attack, 800 defense. If this card's in the graveyard, you can remove from play 1 other plant type monster from your graveyard to special summon this and increase its level by the level of monster removed from play, activate its effect. Okay, so what that means is, let's say I remove Dandelion. Let me move that real quick. Dandelion is level 3. 3 plus a level 1 is 4, so Spore would come out of level 4. Or Gold Bulb, after you've used its effect more likely, it would come out at 2. So that's how Spore works. Dandelion, when this card's sent to the graveyard, doesn't matter how. It can be milled, it can be destroyed. As long as it doesn't get removed, you get the 2 tokens. And they can't be tributed the same turn that they're special summoned. Simple as that. Gold Bulb, you send the top card of your deck to special summon this card. You can only use the effect once per duel, so that's good and bad. Okay, the next 5 cards I have to explain together, because it was a stupid deck that should not have done well about a year ago. It's been less than a year. It was the Flamevale Swarm. Archer, Fire Dog, Garunkin, Magician, and then Pound. Or it's supposed to be, it's like Poon. Whatever. Okay, so the combo, okay. So Flamevale Archer, you contribute 1 face-up Pyro-type monster you control to have all Flamevale monsters gain 800 attack. When this card I'm just reading the effects. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sent to the graveyard, special summon 1 fire-type monster with 200 defense or less from your deck except Flamevale Fire Dog. God knows that would have been broken. You get 3 fire dogs out, then you can go ahead and do some other nasty stuff. Flavel Garunkin. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict 200. Inflict your opponent equal to the level. Basically, you inflict 200 points of damage per level your opponent has for that monster that got destroyed. So yeah. Then Flamevale Magician. When you control ally of justice monsters, this card gains 400 attack. That would never happen. Flamevale Pone. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, select and add one monster with 200 defense from your deck to your hand. So the combos were, you'd get Flamevale Fire Dog, knock out something. Hopefully, you'd either choose to get Magician or Archer, depending on the situation. Magician would let you synchro into level 8. Archer would get you 7, depending on what you needed to do. Gargunkin, you just get him out to do a little more damage. Pone, you would just draw him and set him. It's like, make him think it's a Necro Gardener or something, or Raikou. And you'd be able to add any monster. Lila was in the deck. That's actually all I can really remember of the deck. It wasn't good. It should not have come in the top 8. But yeah, okay. So yeah, that's that whole thing. I don't think they're ever gonna really see play again as a good deck. It wasn't a good deck. It was just a surprise deck that you just could not counter. Well, there wasn't a lot of counters because nobody had ever done something like that. So yeah. Okay, next is the Gale, Sirocco, and Value. Okay, the Sirocco and Value, the only reason why they were in there was for the Value Turbo, Blackwing, Black Swarm, Lightwing, whatever the deck was called. You wanted these 2 in the graveyard to remove to get like Armwing out. And if you got lucky, you move that Armwing, you get Armor Master. That was the idea behind the deck. Then Gale, you just use him for its own effect. Just because he's a tuner, he can cut a monster's attack and defense in half, and that's about it. That was the idea behind this deck. Behind the deck, you'd be relying on heavily on this card in the graveyard. Okay. Then Thunder King Ryo. Neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand, except by drawing them. You can send this card face up to the graveyard to negate the special summoning of one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. So 1900, 800 defense. You basically it's out there to negate, and your opponent you can't draw cards, which really sucks. Okay, Cyber Dragon. It's basically Cyber Dragon. You just special summon it to get over anything. Usually, it's like Cyber Dragon is Jane. Jane is Cyber Dragon. They call me, depend on the situation. If Cyber Dragon's already on the field, Jane would just call me with Cyber Dragon and go from there. Okay, Morphing Jar. Morphing Jar. You want this card if you're having a bad game and you need a new hand. If you don't have a hand, it gives you a hand. That's basically the generalization of Morphing Jar. I'm not going into as detail as I did before because last time it was like 50 minutes long for part 2, which I think that's why it got corrupted. Okay, Plague Spreader, you go through and he just gets sent to the graveyard. You can return one card from your hand to the top of the deck. Special summon this card from the graveyard. Once that's been done, if you synchro summon or it's removed from the field, it's banished. It's removed from play. So one of the better ideas is if let's say you draw into Wolf and you have Plague Spreader in your graveyard. You set Wolf on top. You use Plague Spreader's effect. But to do that, then ideally you want to mill still if you can. You go from there. Okay, Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler, during your opponent's main phase, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Select one face-up effect monster your opponent controls. Negate its effects of that monster until the end phase. So basically, against lightsworn, you don't mill, and you go from there. But it's just there to negate everything, and it's also a tuner, which a lot of people forget about. So yeah. Okay, 2 more cards, and then there's gonna be one more part after this. DD Crow. During either player's turn, you can discard this card to remove from play one monster from your opponent's graveyard. It would screw up Dad, it would screw up JD, it'd screw up Time Lord, even Christia. It's like, oh, wait, Chain. I drop Crow. Chain result, even though Crow activated last, Crow goes through and, oh, I get to remove whatever monster you were going to grab. It's kind of annoying. But yeah. Reborn Tengu, when it's removed from the field, as long as it's not, if it's face down, it doesn't get its effect. But yeah, you just get to special summon another Reborn Tengu from your deck. That's all. So it's just there to help you to thin out your deck. The Fabled Cerberus. Cerberus is when this card is discarded from the to the graveyard, special summon it. It never misses its timing for some reason. So you go through, you discard it with Lumina, bam, you special summon that, and you still get your monster. That's the idea behind the combo. I've yet to see it actually get pulled off. That doesn't mean it's not possible, but just the likelihood of doing that is pretty low in my opinion. Just because it's just one of those things where the odds of it really happening is low. Okay, so let me see where it's at. How much time? Okay, I haven't even hit the 10-minute mark. Well, yeah. Okay, actually, I did hit the 10-minute mark. I haven't hit the 15-minute mark or 20. Okay, I'm gonna go through right now and get rid of quite a few of these cards to get it down to what I think you should have on Lightsworn. Flame Veil's gone. Effect Veiler, I would put inside deck. Let's go to the next big card. Rinyan, gone. Shira, you don't play with. Let's see, I'm gonna continue. Unless you go into the Time Lord build, which you're not gonna be able to play that until the beginning of the year anyways. We're beginning next year, so that's gone. Then Christia, unless you go in the fairy build, which I'm not gonna build that build. Well, I'm not gonna get it down. You're not gonna play Christia. Sirocco, you're not gonna play. Value, you shouldn't play unless you're really gonna play value, triple value, whatever. Doomcow, only reason anti-meta. Spore, it's pretty easy to get out, but its effect is annoying to use because if you don't have another plant type monster, you can't use its effect. Okay, Janice is gone. We're not going to use her effect. Cerberus, like I said, I just don't think you'd be able to use its effect. Tengu, I wouldn't even cite it. It's an okay card, but it's not good in Lightsworn. Go. Herald of Creation. It's a good card again, but it's really circumstantial, which a lot of the Lightsworn decks are. A lot of things are. So I'm going to say no. Morphing Jar. I'm going to say no because the odds are just really stacked against you where you're not going to be able to use it, or it's just going to be in the graveyard. It's going to be a waste of a space. Thunder King, I would put inside deck. Same thing with Cyber Dragon. Okay, Caius, unless you're going straight Twilight, you're not going to use it. Same thing with Dad. Twilight's the only build you're going to use it. I mean, I'm running, these four are basically my whole Twilight build. Let me see, there's something else. I like this guy, but you just can't use him. Well, he's really broken, but I mean, just with the piercing and gaining 300 attack, I like it. But it's one of those things where it helps you out, but it's really circumstantial again. Okay, Dandelion, I'm not going to leave in there because even though Dandelion, you're going to get its effect regardless, it was better back when it was at 2. Simple as that. Okay, we're already down to 20 monsters. Gale, I'm going to go ahead and put in the side deck just there to boost everything up. So, as things stand, we're going to want to run 22 to 28 monsters, which is a pretty big lineup, but that's how a lot of decks have been lately. So, I'm going to want to add another, you're going to want to have probably like 2 Raikos, 2 Lilas, 2 Card Troopers, and then definitely a second Necro. Just because Necro just stops attacks. You can go ahead and get rid of the Chaos Necromancer if you want, or you can go 2 or 3. I like it at 2 because it's been pretty consistent. But yeah, this is what I've got the deck down to. I mean, you're gonna go 3 JDs, I would say probably 2 to 3 Raikos, 2 to 3 Luminas. You don't worry about, oh yeah, Arcus. It's good, but I don't really use it because it ends up screwing me over more than it helps. But yeah, then this is basically my lineup of just, if you were to go just only 1 monster of each. So yeah, that's basically my lineup for the main deck monster lineup if I were to only have 1 of each. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about this. Part 2 is gonna cover Part 2 is gonna cover spells. Part 3 is gonna cover traps. Part 4, I might work on the side deck and then the extra deck to show you guys what you can use. Part 5, I'll start showing you guys the combos, how to pull them off as best I can, but my videos prior to this should be able to show you some stuff. But yeah, guys, remember, enter my contest, subscribe if you haven't, like, favorite, leave a comment if you what you think about this. Let me know what you guys think of me just help trying to design decks like this, and because I actually think this would be kind of cool to do. Okay, guys, peace.